Hi loves, it's Lacey and welcome to our space. So I'm so excited because today's video is part of a collaboration that is being hosted by Dawn from Shabby Meets Bling and Monica from Up All Night DIY. What they've asked us to do is to do some spring or Easter DIYs, and it is entitled Hopping Down the Bunny Trail. So here we go with DIY number one. It is this bunny silhouette that is surrounded by flowers, and it's made with mostly Dollar Tree products. Starting with this plaque that is rounded at the top. I actually purchased this a couple years ago for $3 in their plus section. I also have about 8 stems of these little flowers. I don't know what they're called. They are purple in tone and I really love them. I was actually gifted these quite a while back too, so I pulled them out of my stash. So first of all, as you can see, I'm taking the bunches off of the stems, and then they are in little groups of 4, and so I'm cutting them apart so I can work with them easy. The whole purpose of this is for them to look like they're actually growing out of the wood. And I can tell you right now, yes, I am eyeballing this completely. I know that's not going to help you guys, so I went to Google. I pulled an image of a bunny head. You can go there and look at all the ones they have. This is an outline, or you can use a silhouette and trace across the back of it with pencil or chalk, and then lay it down on your project and trace out the outline of the silhouette or the actual outline, and it will imprint on your board. But for me, I'm just gonna wing it and go by sight. And so I am literally taking the ends of all of these stems and I'm gluing them here a little offset from the middle. I know it looks offset because my bunny's going to lean a little bit. If you saw the beginning here or even the thumbnail, you can tell I want my bunny to lean. And yes, this footage is sped right up because nobody wants to watch me paste on all of these little pieces of flowers and leaves. So I've gotten to this point and I'm going to turn it around so you guys can see what it looks like, what I'm looking like here in just a second. And please be careful and use either a silicone spatula, that one came from Dollar Tree, or make sure you have finger protectors because this is going to be a lot of hot glue. And as I'm showing you right here, you can see I'm starting to form the ears. That's what I'm doing here at the top, where the ears are going to go. I just look at it and figure how I want them to be. And my other bunny ear is going to bend. This one was very easy. A lot of these little floral pick things are kind of curved. So it helped me see where the curve to the bunny ear would go. And any place that you mess up with this, it's super easy to fix. You can just add in another flower or another group of leaves, or you can take your scissors and cut out a flower or a group of leaves. But as you can see right here, this, even sped up, is starting to form into the normal bunny ear, and the pieces I'm putting down are kind of curved. And if they aren't curved and you want more curved pieces, you can cut them into smaller sections. You don't have to leave them in the big long stems because I have some that are really long and some that are short. And then if I wanted a shorter one, I just cut it with my scissors. I have so many sitting here. I'm just putting them in willy-nilly too. I just make sure they kind of stick up because it's supposed to look like it's a garden sculpture that's growing out of the wood. So I'm going to fill this in a whole lot more and not make you watch me stick these in here. Even if you have some that you put in and it's glued down and you don't like it, just cut it off and stick it back in at a different angle. And that's really simple to do. So here I am with that one ear all the way down, and then I made the circle for the face, and then this one I want it to be bent over, so I'm just putting these in straight across, and now I'm going to fill in the top and make the rest of the bent ear. And you can see I'm not being very particular. I'm just picking them up, putting some glue on the end and sticking them in. But again, it's a lot of hot glue, and I have my Ryobi glue gun and it's very hot. It's high heat, so use finger protectors or something. You've been warned. Don't burn yourself. I have long nails, so I use them a lot. So So here we are. This is all filled in, and I'm just following the curve, and look, I'm cutting one. I didn't like how that one stuck up. So I either cut it out and left it out, or I'll stick it in another spot. So now I'm going to try to finish the ear. And I can tell you right now, when I do the ear, these little leaves that are sitting down there, I'm going to cut out eventually. And then I'm going to do the rest of the face. So this is very forgiving, very, very forgiving. You do not have to fret over it. So now here I am taking one that's nice and straight, and I'm going to bend it up so you get the bent ear. But inside that, it's really tight and there's a lot of leaves sticking out. So I'll just cut them out later with some smaller scissors. So don't worry if you're trying to do this and go, well, mine will never look like this. Well, it'll look like any kind of way you shape it. In the end, it's almost like cutting a live plant in your yard to shape it. So now we're going to go ahead and fill in over here down to the side. So now you can see where I am, and now I just need to make the face. But before I do that, I want to add one of these signs that says bunny on it from Dollar Tree's Crafter Square. There are 3 in this pack all together, and we're going to be taking one out. And I was going to place it up the side here, but it doesn't really fit how I did my design. So I'm going to put it at the bottom. And before I do that, I am going to go ahead and paint it because I want it to blend in with the flowers. And after I get the face on, I'm going to take and go all the way around the bunny sign, just like I did the rest of it. So here are the 2 colors I'm going to mix together to make the color to match. That's Apple Barrel and Pink Diva. And then the other one's just called True Blue. And I think it's Art Deco, but it was on clearance at my local grocery store. So first of all, here it is. I already mixed it together, and it's a pretty good match. I think I did well. I'm going to paint the bunny sign, but I'm not going to do it in front of you guys because nobody wants to watch me paint. Then I'm just going to put a little glue on the B and the Y and stick this down to the ledge at the bottom of this. And I'm going to make sure that it intersects. I put an extra piece of flower there where it's supposed to go. And I filled it all in, as you can see. No one wants to watch me fill in flowers for 2 hours. So I'm just, again, showing you. I'm going to go around the entire border. It's still going to look like the shape of the plaque, but I want this to look like everything is growing out of the plaque. And I'm not going to make you watch me sit here and put in all of these either. This is what it looks like. So then next, I'm just grabbing this ribbon. It came from Sam's Club. It is their brand, and it was 50 yards, and I grabbed a little bit of it and I made a bow, just a simple bow like you're tying your shoes. And then on the tails, I cut them at the diagonal, and I'm going to push it into just the ear that's bent. So I'm putting down a little hot glue, and yes, this is very sped up because this video will be super long if I don't do this. And I know you guys get it. And I am in love with how this turned out. Look how thick and lush that looks. It looks like a real plant on there. I mean, it's plastic, I know. But from afar, it looks like a real plant. And I love it. And it's all except for that little ribbon from Dollar Tree. So let's move on to DIY number 2 because I love this one too. And it's all from Dollar Tree basically too. I mean, I have a couple of florals from other places. I have this plaque. I got it a couple years ago with the bunny in it. And then I have all of these little wooden boxes that stack up, as you can see. I also have some Dollar Tree washi tape. I think that's how you say it. And just a piece of cardstock that was left over from before. But it's a floral print, and I think it goes really well with this. Look, it's the same florals. We're going to be using them again in this, of course. And some cherry blossoms that I think came from Joann Fabrics. I have a lot of florals at my house. And these are some lamb's wool. Not great lamb's wool either. I think I actually got this at a Dollar Tree. And so first, what we're going to do here is cover this piece of cardstock completely with the washi tape. I'm going to just cut some pieces and lay them down, or lay down this one first and then cut it off and put on some more pieces of it. And you will see that on my next piece, I thought it was going to have a pattern that lined up. It does not. So there's no point in trying that if you have the same tape. It didn't line up. I tried and tried to move it where it looked like it was going to be even and line up. I gave up on that. You really can't tell the difference all that much. So I'm not going to make you watch me play with this much longer. I'm just going to have the final product here for you. I did not want to overlap anything. So I had some extra pieces that I cut off and I used those too. I just want to make sure the edges are like kind of nice and straight and there's no excess hanging over. Then I decided on which side of this board I want to see, and I'm laying this down on the back of the other side of the board and just taping it down with Scotch tape all the way around. Now I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't stay like this. I add a second board just like this. I had two of them to it because it's too thin and too wobbly if you just use one. So you're going to need to back it with something else or else this will not work. Now I'm going to take the first drawer, the biggest one. It is slightly bigger than our, see the little edge, than our little plaque board that we're using. But we are going to glue it down with some hot glue and with some E6000 glue. You could also use a drill and drill through the back of this and put in some really tiny screws. I don't think I'm going to need it. And I do put a second board on later that I will show you. So I'm just using a strong adhesive and then the hot glue to hold it right now. So I'm putting a lot of the glue across here, as you can see. And that's to ensure that once that dries, it has a perfect hold. Then I'm going to use little dots of hot glue on either side of that. And then I'm going to do a long part of hot glue in the middle as well. Then I'm just going to make sure it's facing the right direction because we want that little tag holder to be visible. And I'm going to line it up on my mat so I can see actually the numbers and stuff for it and make sure that I get those little edges over and then just hold it down. And this bottom one is all the way at the bottom. Make sure you have it all the way to the edge. And then we're just going to press it and move on to the next ones. We're going to do the exact same thing to this one, but as I'm lining it up, I noticed that there are stickers on the bottom. So remember to take your stickers off because these will be seen. But we are going to measure it out because I'm going to be using this at my coffee bar. And I have syrups and I have different things to add to my coffee. So I'm making sure I have enough height to get that in and out of where I want to put them. Then I'm going to use my mat as my ruler because it has nice straight lines and it's already stuck down on my table plumb. So I know these lines are going to be perfect. Also, this one is smaller than the first one. So I lined it up so it's in the middle of where it needs to go. Okay. You have a little bit extra on the sides of each one of these. And I'm putting down my hot glue first with the line and then E6000 glue. I'm just showing you this over again so you understand and to make sure you realize you don't need the glue to go to the edges. And then I'm going to put it back on the line and adhere it on here. And I know it might look a little crooked to you. It's probably just the way my camera is. This isn't my normal setup. I moved my craft room to a much bigger room in my house and got all new equipment and new stuff. And so, yeah, I'm still getting used to it myself. Sorry. So I measured the bottom. It's 4 inches and this is about 5.5, a little bit over. And then I basically eyeballed where it needed to go because I did the math in my head. I'm not going to give you guys the math if you want to do this because remember, these are Dollar Tree products. They're all slightly off. You really need to measure for your own. But as you see, I'm only putting the hot glue in the area where this one will go because it's much smaller than the other two. And so you don't want to put glue all the way across on that. And I keep turning it to face me so I can see really well to put this down, and I line it up with the same number. So if it looks crooked to you, it's not crooked. You'll see at the end it's perfectly straight for me. I actually hold it up to make sure that one goes really, really well, and then I push it down. And I did take the stickers off the bottom. So then next, I decided to use this little tag area because I know what's going to be in mine. I don't have to write anything to decorate it along with the same floral tape. I thought it would be really pretty. You can already see I did the 1B above it. And so I just took it loose on one side, put the tape down, and then screwed it back. And it was really, really easy. So now here comes the really fun part. All that's left is decorating it. And so I'm going to start off with this lamb's ear. Some of it's really nice on here and some of it is not so much. I think this was a Dollar Tree pick that I had leftover stuff from like Hobby Lobby, like these pieces. And I just stuck them on the pick or something. Or maybe Dollar Tree did have them this nice. I don't know. But I am just going to frame the top of this with the lamb's ear, my base layer first. And this is personal preference. So you just do it any kind of way you want. And I'm going to let you guys watch and see what I do here. And we'll just get on to the next part after. I framed out all of the places I wanted to have a base layer, including on the drawers, if you can see. And now I'm going to take the cherry blossoms and feed them in. I'm going to keep some of them on their stems, and then I'm going to take some of them and do individual flowers just to put them wherever I think they need to go. I'm also going to put some on each one of the drawer. I'm going to call them drawers, the little squares that we use. And I am going to also stick them underneath the lamb's wool and on top of the lamb's wool, hiding the stems along the way. That's all it takes to do this. And so I'll let you watch what I do quickly. I'm not going to put every flower on here because this would get to be a lot. At this point, I'm adding in more flowers onto the little drawer boxes. And I'm also taking the purple flowers that we use in the other DIY and sticking them in wherever I felt they fit in really well. And that's it. Except for this piece right here was bothering me, so I cut it off. Like I said, you can change it any kind of way you want. And I'm going to glue it in so it sits exactly how I like it. Personal preference. So this is it. I love this one as much as I love the other one. And if you have been on my channel before, you know I'm extra. And so not only did I do everything you just saw, most of it you saw, I also added in this little butterfly. I'm in love with it. My friend Cheryl from Homeward Studio and I went shopping the other day and we found these gorgeous butterflies. They're from Michael's. Here they are. You get a whole bunch on the stem and they were 50% off. I don't remember exactly how much they cost, but they were 50% off. I think we paid something like $5 for the stem. So I had to use one of those to put in there. And like I told you before, I'm extra. And so I did a lot to the little drawers. I did a lot to this. And here is the back of it. Like I said before too, I added an extra board. And since I was doing that, I went ahead and put washi tape on the back and then put the board down because I have another set of those little square drawer like things, and I could always do this as a centerpiece and decorate around the edge of the back. But this is what it looks like when you have two of the boards together. It's still a little thin, but it's not too bad. And I'm going to be using it at my coffee bar, so I'm putting in lightweight stuff at the top here. That's a little bit of cocoa and a little bit of cinnamon. And then I have a very small jar of my sugar cubes, and it should hold perfectly fine, but do not put heavy things on these two top ones. All the heavy stuff needs to go down on the bottom. You could screw in through the back of your boards and it would hold better, but I wouldn't. So that's it for this video. I want to thank Dawn from Shabby Meets Bling and Monica from Up All Night DIY for letting me participate in their collaboration, which is Hopping Down the Bunny Trail. I will be linking both of their channels and the playlist in my description down below. So make sure you go and watch everyone's video. It's some amazing, talented creators in it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and for liking my video. And if you're not a member here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hang out with us for a while. We have a lot of fun here, and I will be bringing some more spring and Easter and some bumblebee DIYs to you very soon. I will catch you in my next video. Bye, loves.